All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. I've got a couple of interesting stories for you guys today. The first story that I have for you guys today, Dennis, the big bad wolf. As you guys know, it's been a couple years since we've seen Dennis Wolf on stage. He's had a couple injuries and a couple setbacks during his career that really kept him off the professional stage. And recently, he shared with us that he just had a shoulder and bicep tendon surgery. And he kind of shows an update of how he's doing after that surgery. So I just wanted to start out this video sending some positive vibes and wishing a speedy recovery to Dennis Wolf. He was one of my favorite bodybuilders. As I got more interested into being a fan of the sport, watching Dennis compete, he was one of the, he was just one of the guys I really enjoyed watching compete. And if you translate his caption there, he says a huge thank you to Dr. Matthias Rich for the mega job well done. Now it's time to wear a noose. I guess he means a sling for 4 weeks and spare the biceps for 8 weeks. I feel great and look forward to my recovery time, of course, with some physical therapy in Olfen NRW next week. So certainly our thoughts, prayers, and best wishes are going towards Dennis Wolf and a speedy recovery for him. Hopefully he gets out of that sling very, very soon. Now, next up in the news, the latest physique update from Blessing Awodabu has a lot of people talking. For one, I am excited to see Blessing versus Nick at the New York Pro coming up on May 15th because the update that Blessing posted, the side chest here, he looks significantly improved to where he was looking about a year ago when he was prepping for the Australia Arnold Classic. I actually saw someone post the comparison of Blessing around March of last year compared to February of this year in this same pose. And you can clearly see he's added on significant size to his upper body. His arms look a lot bigger for one. And his legs actually look pretty decent here. Everyone's been criticizing the legs of Blessing, but I think he looks pretty dangerous in this side chest pose. So Fernando Arroyo posted that side-by-side of Blessing March versus February. And then if you throw up the most recent physique update of Nick Walker posted just a few days ago, Nick Walker is hitting a side chest in that pose, in that picture 3 days ago. Put them side by side. I think Blessing actually looks really good in that pose. A lot of people have argued that Nick is the more complete bodybuilder. He's got more muscle mass in the lower body. But I think Blessing is really going to give him a run for his money. And I love seeing a brand new rivalry between two basically brand new IFBB pros. I think it brings some more interest and competition to the sport, and it gives us something to look forward to aside from just two dudes flexing on a bodybuilding stage covered in oil. But let me know in the comment section down below which team you are on. Are you on Team Blessing or are you on Team Nick? Who do you think is going to win or at least place higher at the 2021 New York Pro? Right now, I think it could be a coin toss, man. I think Blessing has a much stronger back than Nick. I do think Nick has a much stronger lower body than Blessing. I think Blessing has a better V-taper than Nick, but I think Nick has a little bit more muscle mass than Blessing. So it'll be interesting for sure. Two very different bodybuilders, very different physiques, different heights. It'll be an interesting battle. Now, next up in the news, Hunter Labrada with the latest physique update. Hunter, another guy we're looking forward to seeing compete in 2021 and see how he does going up to the 2021 Mr. Olympia, which now we know will be in October. He does need to requalify for that show, so we will likely see him compete, I would think, pretty early on in the season. And based on this physique update that Hunter posted, when did he post this? Actually, this was posted today. So he says, interrupting my week-long hiatus from IG to share today's pump. Been enjoying life, friends, and family a lot lately. Almost time to flip the switch again. Fasted weight is 270 to 272. Trying to hit 280 fasted before we start stripping it down. So you can see he's pretty big. He's pretty full. But to me, he looks like he's in pretty good shape still. So hopefully we get to see Hunter compete sometime soon. Hopefully it's relatively early in the season. May would still give him a pretty significant amount of time to prep. Keep in mind, 3 months' time is about 12 weeks. A standard bodybuilding prep is somewhere around that range. And we've still got about 3 months till May. A little less than 3 months to some of these shows coming up in May. And foreseeably, you're going to have some more shows sprinkled all throughout the summer, and that will be technically considered early in the bodybuilding season for 2021. And I'm assuming Hunter will compete in one of those shows to try to qualify for the Olympia again, which will be in October, which the only downside to me with the Olympia being in October would be simply the fact that these guys have a really limited time to qualify. If you think about that, they've got from May, the first week of May. So basically, you've got early May to early October. All the opportunities to qualify for the Olympia are going to be sprinkled in between there. So you've got May, June, July, August, September, and then like 1 week in October. essentially 5 months' time for everybody to qualify for the Olympia. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But let me know what you guys think will happen in the comment section below. And now, a word from our sponsors over at Built Bar. All right, guys, today's video is sponsored by Built Bar. Now, I was pretty excited for this sponsorship because Built Bar is not your average protein bar. Even far before they ever offered to sponsor a video, I tried this a couple years back, and they're a really unique, really flavorful bar. And the unique flavors are really what attracted me to this brand initially. They've got flavors like orange. That's a flavor I remember trying a few years ago. Mint brownie, peanut butter brownie. I already ate all the peanut butter ones out of there. Banana nut bread really surprised me. That was pretty good. Caramel brownie, carrot cake, cherry barcia, coconut almond, coconut cookies and cream, double chocolate, raspberry, salted caramel, toffee, almond, and more flavors. And I'm not just saying this because they're sponsoring the video. Even the fruity flavors mixed with chocolate that you might not expect to be good really impress me. And every one of these flavored bars is under 200 calories, and most of them are in the 17 to 20 grams of protein range. So if you want to try one of the 18 flavors of Built Bar, click the link below. And if you want to help support the channel, click the link below because these sponsorships help out a great deal. So give Built Bar a try. You won't regret it. And now the final story that I have for you guys today, the Athleticon controversy. I've seen a lot of people talking about on Instagram and on YouTube. A lot of people have brought up the fact that Athleticon has been scheduled for October 9th through the 10th. That was the original postponement because of obviously everything going on. Originally, Athleticon was supposed to be in the fall of 2020, and they pushed it back to October of 2021. And coincidentally, recently they announced that the Olympia will be held October 7th through the 10th. So Athleticon and the Olympia, for a brief moment there, were scheduled for the same weekend. Now, apparently, Athleticon has been delayed until April of 2022 after the Olympia scheduling conflicts. Now, this has been confirmed via fitnessvolt.com. This is where I first saw this article appear. They go on to talk about the scheduling conflicts and the fact that they announced afterwards that it will be postponed till 2022. And if you scroll down, the source that they cite here in this paragraph here, it says, however, fear not, as reports have revealed that Athleticon is now being delayed once again. This time it has been pushed back to sometime in April of 2022 so as to avoid scheduling conflicts between this and the Olympia. So if you click that, you will see that they are citing Ron Harris. So Ron Harris of Muscular Development is their source here. So pretty credible source in Ron Harris. And of course, if you go to the Olympia website, you'll find that the Olympia dates still stand at October 7th through the 10th. Now, I don't think there was any intentionality or any real conflict between the actual show or the promoters of the Olympia and Athleticon. If you go over to the Athleticon official Instagram, their verified Instagram, they have not posted anything since June of 2020. So I think they kind of knew most of this time that it probably wasn't going to happen in 2021. I think they pretty much knew that it was going to get pushed back again. And I think the bodybuilding show tied to that, the Icon World Classic, was going to be pushed back as well. I just think they didn't. I mean, they still haven't posted an update on here about the new dates being pushed till April. But I think there was no intentionality, there was no conflict, there was no beef, no drama, nothing between Athleticon trying to rival the Olympia. We've kind of found out now that that is not true. They are not going to be rival promotions. The Rock is not trying to rival the Olympia and have a better show. We know that that's not the case. So I think this was really just kind of an error in the fact that they never announced that it was going to be pushed back. And really, like I said, they haven't announced anything on their Instagram since June of 2020. So June of last year was their last update. So kind of interesting. I thought you guys might want to know about that because I've seen a lot of people, like I said, talking about this Olympia Athleticon conflict. It was kind of interesting that the dates were scheduled for the same weekend, but Athleticon is kind of its own entity outside of bodybuilding. We know that Athleticon was intended to be this big like a fitness expo. It was supposed to be multiple sports, very similar to the Arnold Classic, and the Icon World Classic was supposed to be this bodybuilding show tied to it. But Athleticon itself was supposed to be like this big athletic event where they had all kinds of stuff going on besides bodybuilding. So I don't think it was an attempt to rival the Olympia. And honestly, I think the original game plan for Athleticon was to be the comeback of Phil Heath. I think when it was originally scheduled for the fall of 2020, before COVID and all this crap happened, I really think the goal at that point was to make this documentary around Phil. As you guys know, Phil is signed to Danny Garcia's production company. So I really think the game plan at that original point, at the original signing of Phil Heath, was to film this documentary about Phil. And I think the comeback was supposed to be at Athleticon, at the Icon World Classic. But as you guys know, everything got messed up with COVID. The show got canceled, pushed back, and that didn't happen. And Phil wound up competing at the Olympia. So I don't know if we're ever going to see Athleticon happen and see what it could have been be realized, because it couldn't have came around at a worse time with everything going on with social distancing, with the virus. The whole plan for Athleticon to be this massive expo, this massive meeting of all the worlds in fitness and all these different sports, it couldn't have came around at honestly a worse time. So all right, that's going to wrap it up for today's video, guys. I hope you did in fact enjoy it. Please give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Please subscribe to this channel if you have not subscribed yet already. As always, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Nick Strength and Power signing out.